Because, the amount of ingredients that you're supposed to have is like 3.
Sure.
Flour, well, not even sugar, salt, water.
Yeah, maybe. However, that actually doesn't look wrong to me. It's a crazy thing.
In Europe, they aren't required to list all the ingredients. In America, it is required. That's why you see more ingredients. Again, I'm not sure how true this is. Not gonna lie, since the start of the World Cup, us Americans have been pretty big-headed. We've been appreciating the love we've been receiving from around the globe, and it's been nothing short of entertaining. However, on the flip side of that, we are, for as much as we're very patriotic and we love people appreciating our country, we also have very guttural, visceral reactions when people have any type of criticism about our country as well. And that is exactly what we're gonna be diving into in this video. There was a European that traveled to the United States, and as we all know, we love watching Europeans go to the United States and indulging in all the different things that there are to partake in, culture shock wise. It's really cool. I absolutely indulged and loved watching all of those videos, but this particular video was different. Oh, it was different because this young lady decided to travel to the United States and she was basically unimpressed, or at least that's what the vibe was giving. And the comment section was full of Americans that were absolutely upset. They were not vibing with that. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. If you guys are returning viewers, welcome back. Please support us in our journey to 1 million subscribers by hitting that like button and subscribing if you haven't already. Also, let me know, what are your biggest criticisms about the United States? There's a lot of things that can be said. I mean, especially recently, there has been a lot of diabolical changes that have happened because of the United States. The whole world, I mean, is kind of messed up oil-wise because of us. And what was your experience traveling to the United States? And if not you, maybe a family member or a friend that traveled to the United States. Did they like it? Did they not?
It's already started. Would you like to say, this is me day 1 before going to the US? Better get day 0.
This is me 19 hours before arriving in the US.
I love that. I love that. Thank you.
First day in America. Yay! Woohoo! Stop. Because why do you need a gallon?
Because you have a family. You have a family. You need to get the milk for strong bones. I don't agree. I don't support. I'm just saying.
Talk about this is wrong.
So a few things to note that we saw already in the video. It does seem like she's a little tired in the very beginning. So of course she wasn't overly like excited and stuff. And that's the type of reaction us Americans are looking for. Overly like hype and, wild and crazy, because that's what we do when we travel and stuff. That's actually also what we've been seeing from other Europeans that have traveled to the United States recently. We've seen the overreacted like, oh my God, I can't believe I landed in the United States of America. We're looking for an over the top reaction. And when she didn't give that, the people in the comments were actually not vibing with that. They were not having it. Did she not like it here or something? Like, where's the enthusiasm? She looked tired. In my opinion, she was just tired. I mean, I get tired whenever I travel and I'm not the most enthusiastic, although I do have copious amounts of energy, but that's just me as a person. I can be a little much to handle for a lot of people. But generally speaking, yeah, anybody's gonna be tired. So of course you have a camera in your face and you're half asleep. You're not gonna be super enthusiastic. But if we skip a little bit forward to what we just saw, which is her going to a grocery store and pointing out like, oh no, this is wrong. Why do you guys have a big jug of milk? This doesn't make any sense. Now I could understand how that could be a little polarizing, but us Americans pride ourselves in having large portions of everything. Now, her friend brought up something very important.
Why do you need a gallon?
Because you have a family. You have a family. You need to get the milk for strong bones.
For a lot of American families, it's just better to buy the gallon of milk as one big thing and then partition it throughout the week. That makes a lot of sense. You don't have to routinely go grocery shopping all the time because, of course, throughout Europe, there are a ton of walkable cities and stuff. And, things just work better over there. So the portion sizes are smaller and people shop a lot more frequently. You're not going to see massive gallons of milk throughout Europe, depending on where you're at, I feel like. I'm not sure if there are gallons of milk anywhere in Europe. I mean, maybe a couple liters, like, a 1.5 liter, a 1 liter or something like that. Maybe a 2 liter if you're lucky. Kind of. I don't know, but you guys let me know in the comments down below what are available as far as like the quantities, the size quantities of milk. Because when I was in Germany, I didn't see anything that mirrored the same size as what we've had as far as options for milk went. But people don't really need that much milk, you know what I'm saying? And if they do, they just go back and get another one. Or when they're in the grocery store, they buy 2 instead of 1. That makes a lot of sense too. It's very practical. But for the American household, we like to optimize on buy in bulk, right? So we have a lot of bulk items available. Let's say if you go to the Netherlands and go into a store and stuff, there might be like a lot of different 4-packs of Coca-Cola. In the United States, we will have like a 40-pack of Coca-Cola and we'll just grab that and bring it home and stuff like that. Just an example. Obviously, I'm being facetious a little bit here, but you get what I'm saying? It's just a little different. So I didn't think of that per se because I was like, oh, I mean, I like our gallons. In fact, I love the fact that like in the United States, I could go into any store and buy a big old gallon of water and I actually walk around with it and drink it. And it's just on my side no matter where I go. I take it to the gym with me. I take it to work. I take it everywhere. If I somehow was able to sneak a gallon of water from the United States to any European country, I would be looked at crazy. I would already be looked at crazy because I got this headband on. But aside from that, you know what I mean? People be like, what the heck is he doing?
Okay.
What I was supposed to say? Day 3 of being in America. Day 3 of being in America. Day 4 of being in America.
You recording me in Target and
That is wrong. That is piss.
right.
I just poured it over here.
All right.
And I have no choice.
No, you didn't have a choice in that.
I did not. I didn't know it was gonna be pissy.
This is the same that they put over there.
Okay, so this is kind of taking me back. She said that.
All
I
right.
have no choice.
No, you didn't have a choice in that.
I did not. I didn't know it was gonna be pissy.
So I get what she's saying, right? Whenever like, you know, people put butter in the popcorn, when I first saw this when I was little, I'm like, what in the world is that? What is that? Also, hot take, I absolutely hate popcorn. I know. Probably lost some subscribers there, but I hate popcorn. I've always hated popcorn. I think when I was little, I probably liked it for a little bit, but the older I got and the hungrier I got, I'm like, popcorn's a tease. It tastes like air. Okay, air and butter. I don't like it at all. I still don't like it, but people love popcorn. How do you guys feel about popcorn? Do you drench it in butter like a lot of us Americans do? I'm not included in that conversation because I absolutely despise popcorn. And if you do eat popcorn, do you put anything on it? Salt, sugar, something?
Piss.
Right.
I just wanted my fake cheese.
Order 2657.
I'm still got to order. I wanted fake cheese. They don't have fake cheese.
They just have fake butter.
Fake butter. That's not even butter. That's cancer.
I mean, at least she was honest. She's like, look, I know y'all got poison over here. I just wanted the fake cheese, but you guys didn't even have that. You guys had
Fake butter. That's not even butter. That's cancer.
I didn't need that. I wanted fake cheese on my popcorn. Also, who puts fake cheese on their popcorn? There's a lot of weird things we got in the United States, but that is weird.
Hold on. Because questions.
Yeah.
What the fuck? She better buy that loaf of bread. Listen, I understand we're doing the whole culture shock stuff, right? But you can't just go up and grab a loaf of bread and just, look at how fake their bread is. Now, our bread is fake. I get that. But understand that you just damaged some product that was on the shelf. Now, the product might be radioactive, so I get that. But the way my heart just skipped 2 beats. Okay, I have a question for my viewers watching this right now. If I went to a grocery store in your country and I went on the shelf and I grabbed a loaf of bread, and I'm like, wow, they have real bread here, and I crush it. And I'm like, man, and I don't buy the bread. I just put it back. What would happen? I mean, I think that would be considered rude, right? I mean, like, what is going on?
See, we all know what happened.
Because, you know, the amount of ingredients that you're supposed to have is like 3.
Sure.
Flour, well, not even sugar, salt, water.
Yeah, maybe. However, that actually doesn't look wrong to me. It's a crazy thing. I can't tell you.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
That's diabolical. Listen, she did also have a point. We have 1,000,003 ingredients in our bread. So there's also that. Going through the comments, there was a comment that I saw that we'll go over later, said that most European countries are not required to list all of the ingredients they have in their products over throughout Europe. I don't think that's true. You guys let me know in the comments if that's a true statement or if this guy in the comments was talking out of his ass. I'm pretty sure the guy in the comments was talking out of his ass, but apparently throughout Europe, they're not required to put all of the ingredients on whatever product they're selling you that is a food product. But I find that hard to believe considering that the food standards over there are far stricter than they are in the United States. The United States, you can put heaven, hell, and purgatory in the food, and they don't care as long as they make a quick buck off of you. That's just how it is. But the fact that she put that loaf of bread back on the shelf after she balled it up is diabolical.
Take it all
Dear,
in.
dear listeners, dear viewers,
What's the problem? I don't see the issue.
it's a drive-through bag. Have you ever,
What?
y'all who don't live in US, have you ever heard of a drive-through bag? Do you have that in your country?
And wouldn't you like it? What do you like
Would
it?
you like it? Because why would you?
Because look, if I go right here, why would I walk all the way over there? Why would I have to?
Okay. Hot take for at least the people that are watching from the United States. I also think the drive-through bank bullshit is bullshit. Like, why do we need that? Just go in the bank and do your thing. Or go to an ATM, pull out some money. Now, I understand that with the drive-through banks and stuff like that as well, you can drive up to the window. And if you have a check to cash, you can go ahead and just like drive up and give them the check and they'll cash it, whatever. But I always thought that was weird. As a kid, when I very first saw the drive-through banks and stuff, I just thought it was strange that we didn't just go inside the bank and do whatever transaction we had to do. A drive-through bank to me seems a little strange, a little off-putting, even now, right? And I grew up in the United States. But like, what do you guys think of drive-through banks? Do you think your country needs them? Do you think they're useless? Do you think they're kind of nifty? They expedite the process in general? Or do you think they would just take up too much space and nobody would use them? They're not very practical.
Just gonna take a little merry little drive right through. Right. It's a nice little 1-2.
Right.
You park yourself right here. And you do what you have to do. What are we confused about? Nothing to say more? They don't get it. No. They don't understand anything.
Actually, after looking at that, it's just an ATM. It's a drive-through ATM. Just, you could go to any ATM for this, but whatever. I guess we're like a car country, so having this was kind of inevitable. What do you think about all that? Let's go ahead and dive into the comments and see what they had to say, because again, the Americans are lighting this lady up. They were not happy at her attitude. I don't think her attitude was that bad. I just think the only point of criticism that got me was her balling up that bread and putting it back on the shelf. You smashing that bread and putting it back made me so mad. It sent chills down my spine. The amount of times I rolled my eyes. And I'm pretty sure this user commented that because she wasn't overly excited about all the little things over there. I just think that when people have different experiences in different countries, the reaction is not always going to be overexcitement. It might be like, you need to process what's going on. She was clearly processing her environment and stuff. And she's like, okay, like that's not something I'm used to seeing. Like very critical about a lot of things. And that's totally fine. But I think that with us Americans, if we don't see people being overly enthusiastic about being in the United States, we think they're an absolute enemy. We think that they're a party pooper, which is crazy. So it's a really bad attitude to have from us Americans. We can't expect everybody to have the same reaction. Okay. Yes. All over the news, all over TikTok, all over Instagram, there are a bunch of videos of Europeans trying all these cool things. Also, people from all over the world trying cool things from the United States, right? And it's been amazing. It's been incredible, but I think we're letting it get to our heads a little bit. Just smashed that bread and left it. Again, it shocked me too. She seems fun. And the creator responded with, she is, just not American fun. Again, I don't think she had a bad attitude. It's not like she was, ugh. I mean, there were some things that clearly made her like, I don't know. I'm not really vibing with this, but it didn't seem like she was doing it with malice. She was just being very honest, brutally honest. And a lot of the Americans in the comments could not handle that. Not everybody has to like what we have, which is totally fine. That's totally fine, but apparently not for this comment section. In Europe, they aren't required to list all the ingredients. In America, it is required. That's why you see more ingredients. Again, I'm not sure how true this is. So let's do something. Let's look this up and put this to rest. Boom. Yes. Under European Commission food labeling regulations, prepackaged foods must clearly list all ingredients in descending order of weight. This must include all additives and explicitly highlight 14 major allergens, such as gluten and nuts, using distinct fonts or styles. And if you're not comfortable with the AI giving you an answer, there is Europa.eu, and it's food labeling. We have all this. If you sell, right here, if you sell food or beverages in the EU, you must provide essential information so that the end consumer can make an informed decision on their purchase. The information required must be accurate, easy to see and understand, not misleading, indelible. And then boom, mandatory information for prepackaged foods. Okay, if you look at this right here, it says name of the food, ingredient list, including any additives, allergen information, quantity of certain ingredients, date marking, country of origin if required for consumer clarity, name and address of food business operator established in the EU or importer, net quantity, any special storage conditions and or conditions of use, instructions for use if needed, alcohol level for beverages, nutrition declaration. So as we can see here, that commenter had 0 brain cells, because what the fuck are you talking about? You could have just done the same Google search I just did and debunked what you said. Now, it's interesting because that comment had a response from another American that said this. I just watched a YouTuber who got macadamia butter and the only ingredient listed was macadamias. She was like, how good? Only one ingredient. Like, you don't realize there absolutely has to be an added ingredient other than the nut for it to become creamy, spreadable butter. You just have no idea what you're consuming if it ain't listed. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what you have in the 21st century that our parents did not have almost at all, at least in the same capacity? You have the internet at your fingertips. Look it up. She could be traveling to the moon and still be just as unenthused. And then the creator responded, she's Slavic. Hope this helps. And that's what I was talking about earlier. She, is not going to be overly expressive about a lot of things, and she will be a little bit more critical about some things. That's a cultural thing. And there are plenty of other Europeans that do the same thing. They'll be like, okay, this is cool. This is all right. This is also not cool. This is not normal. This is weird. And that's fine. That's totally fine. Again, I think what it is there's a lot of Americans that are like, if you don't have a absolutely Hollywood style reaction, we are going to crash out. Okay. Because that means you just don't appreciate our country at all. And it's going to make us feel insecure. No shade, but something that's been confusing me is why so many people seem to be appalled at large portions like gallons of milk or family-sized cereal boxes. Like, do you guys have laws that state you have to finish food drinks the day you buy them? Like, yeah, a gallon is a lot of milk. It also lasts probably twice as long as whatever amount you buy. We aren't chugging a gallon of milk in one sitting. We're drinking the same amount you do. We just don't have to go to the grocery store as frequently to restock. When I buy canned corn in bulk, it's not because I'm planning to gorge myself on corn until I'm the size of Violet from Willy Wonka. I'm buying it so that I don't have to go get more for several weeks. So I think this is a very interesting issue. It's a very interesting issue because the United States is a car-heavy country. Everything is spread the fuck out. So imagine we have to go to the grocery store 2-3 times a week and we don't buy in bulk. It is a lot of money we're spending on gas for the commute, a lot of weird logistical nightmare shit because, there's just a lot of things going on, right? So it makes more sense for us to drive to the grocery store once every 2 or 3 weeks, buy a fuck ton of shit, right? In bulk, get like bulk, buy paper towels in bulk, buy toilet paper in bulk, buy meat and all the other essentials in bulk, right? And then you go home and you have basically a month's worth of food, or at least 2 to 3 weeks worth of food that you got in that one grocery trip. It's different in Europe though, because in Europe, there are a ton of walkable cities. So you can go to the grocery store all the time because the grocery store is next door. It's literally next door. And also, everything's fresh. The quality of the food is through the roof. So some things don't last as long. Some things actually last longer. Love the idea how they don't understand our bread doesn't have that many ingredients. The US just focuses companies to break down everything in each set ingredients. Huh? What are you saying? Yes, we do have a shit ton of ingredients in our food. And they do have to put that on the label. And that's exactly what we saw. I don't know what this user's talking about. I have 4 children and we go through 3 to 4 gallons of milk a week. God damn, that must be some big ass children. Good Lord. 3 to 4 gallons of milk a week? A week? Now I get it. 3 to 4 kids is a lot of kids. It also depends on like the ages, right? If they're all teens, then that still doesn't make any sense. Maybe 2. 3 to 4 a week. Oh my God. We shop for the week. They shop for the day. We do not have the local market, a local baker, butcher, etc. Down the block, we go to Harris Teeter, Publix, Safeway, H-E-B, or ? Depending on where you live in the States. So what are your thoughts and feelings on all this? Do you think her reaction was stale and just unappreciative, or do you think she was just being brutally